Germany. A moving train. A boy is hiding under a seat. He has no ticket, not a single coin in his pocket. He has run away from home. The footsteps draw nearer. The ticket inspector. To be caught means everything is over. At that very moment, the boy picked up a torn scrap of newspaper from the floor. And in his mind, with all his might, he began to think one single thought. This is my ticket. This is my ticket. This boy's name was Wolf Messing, and this one moment would change his entire life. The inspector took the scrap of paper from the boy's hand. He looked it over carefully. The boy's heart was pounding. And then, the inspector punched the paper, handed it back, and said, annoyed, "If you have a ticket, then why are you hiding under the seat?" An ordinary scrap of newspaper, yet the inspector saw a real ticket. Why? Later, in his autobiography, Messing wrote that the incident on the train changed his life. From that day on, he began to believe there is a power in human thought, and that power can influence the minds of other people. That runaway boy would one day become the talk of the entire world. Standing on stage, he would tell people their own thoughts, find hidden objects, reveal the unknown secrets of people's lives. Audiences were left stunned. His name spread so far that it is said Hitler himself announced a reward of 200,000 marks for his head. And it is told that many of the world's most famous people wanted to meet him: Joseph Stalin, Albert Einstein, even Mahatma Gandhi. A poor Jewish boy who had fled his home, now at the center of curiosity for kings and heads of state. But the most spine-chilling stories begin when he reached the Soviet Union. It is said that Stalin himself wanted to test his powers, and he set 3 impossible tests. For the first test, he was sent to a bank in Moscow. The condition, using only a blank sheet of paper, he had to withdraw 100,000 rubles. No valid documents, nothing. It is said that Messing placed an empty blank paper in front of the teller. But in his mind, he convinced the teller that this was a valid document. The teller, without asking a single question, counted out and handed over 100,000 rubles. The second test was even harder. He was placed inside a tight security cordon and told, "Get out of here if you can." It is claimed that the soldiers stood guard with their eyes wide open, yet Messing walked out right past them without their noticing, as if he were invisible. And the third test, the most impossible of all. He had to reach the very bedroom of Stalin himself. In between, rows upon rows of armed guards. One mistake meant a bullet. Later, Messing said he kept thinking just one thing in his mind. I am Beria. I am the head of the Soviet secret police, Lavrenti Beria. And the guards? They saw him as the all-powerful chief of the secret police. No one stopped him. Instead, they saluted with respect and let him pass. In all 3 tests, at least according to the story, Messing passed by the power of his thought alone. Now pause for a moment. How much of these stories is true and how much is legend? That debate will go on forever. But hidden within them is something that is true for every single one of us. Human thought has an effect. What we think, what we keep telling ourselves over and over in our minds, it changes our words, our actions, the people around us. Messing's entire story really stands on one single idea. Thought is powerful, so always think good thoughts. Because just as positive thinking gives strength, negative thinking too leaves its mark, in one way or another. Imagine an example. A mother wishes for her child's well-being all her life. But if, in one moment of anger, she says, "It would have been better if you had never been born," that one negative sentence, that one moment of thought, can weaken even a lifetime of good wishes. So be careful. In your words, in your thoughts, in your wishes. What you think, what you say, shapes not only you, but the people around you as well. Whether Wolf Messing could truly read minds, we may never know. But his story reminds us of one thing. The greatest power is not on any stage, not in any trick. It lies within your own thoughts. From today, think beautifully, because your thoughts build your world.